it was nice to be able to hand off a company with a positive, to be able to feel good about leaving. The company was doing well, they had good income, they had a project, and it was a good time to step away. So it was nice to do it and feel okay about it.
Bueno, pues la explicación de por qué se fue nos la acaba de dar. Son muy buenos amigos, era un equipo en el que creía y al que quería, pero se sentía que en ese momento pues le apetecía menos estar gestionando gente que hacer cosas. Y esto es una cosa que pasa muy a menudo y le pasa a toda la gente que funda empresas, que son de perfil creativo, que de repente se ven un poco atrapadas en la burocracia de tener que gestionar la empresa. Entonces creyó que era un muy buen momento, porque Torchlight había salido muy bien, para decir adiós, para entregar las llaves y para lanzarse a otro desarrollo loco de 11 meses, que sería Rebel Galaxy. So tell us about the 11 months of Rebel Galaxy.
I had a little office by myself in a co-working building. When I left the company, I left with Eric Schaefer, who was the lead designer for Diablo 2. He was my business partner, so it was just the two of us. I was the only engineer and handled all of the art and music and sound, and he did random mission design and game balance. And it was actually really enjoyable. It was a fun project to make. It was fun to do something different. Rebel Galaxy is very broadside naval combat in space, but with elements of like classic games like Elite and a very space trucker Firefly aesthetic. But it was actually really enjoyable to make.
Bueno, pues en esos 11 meses, nada menos que Travis, con toda la experiencia que tenía como programador, pero también como artista, como diseñador de sonido y el diseñador, el lead designer de Diablo 2, se juntan en un coworking y dicen que durante 11 meses se van a hacer un juego de Space Opera que se llama Rebel Galaxy, que tenía mucho que ver con el lead y que desarrollaron entre los dos juntos pues repartiéndose un poco tareas, Travis encargándose de lo que es arte, sonido, toda la parte de programación. Y which was the name of your lead designer of Diablo 2?
Eric Schaefer.
Eric Schaefer se encargó de la parte del randomizador de misiones y un poco del diseño, ¿no? Entonces entre ellos dos hicieron ese proyecto que se sintió pues como algo más pequeñito, que era justo lo que buscaba y fue muy agradable de hacer. So what happens next with you and games and game industry? Because now you have reinvented yourself as a novelist of great success, also doing something pretty original in the field of fantasy. How did you feel, and what reasons do you think that are linked to game industry, if there is some, to make that split?
To make the split. Yeah. So the last game I made was called Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. It's the game I'm most proud of. We did an agreement with Epic for the Epic Games Store, so we were one of the launch titles for the Epic Games Store. And while I enjoyed making the game, it was a rough launch because the Epic Games Store was not received well. And if gamers do not like something that you're doing, they will let you know. But as I was finishing that game, I was narrating audiobooks on the site for a hobby. It was very relaxing, and it was the only relaxing thing that I was doing. So as the game shipped, I came to the decision that I could have more than one career in my life, and I retired to narrate audiobooks, which again is very relaxing. Also, it's impossible to overwork because you can only read so many hours a day before your voice stops. This is not true for making video games. So in my 40s, that was a nice change of pace for me. After doing that for several years, becoming an author was entirely accidental. It just seems to be a serial thing for me, I guess, to do some other job. But all of them have benefited from spending that many years making video games because the process of making a game is, I used to say it was like putting several $1 million in the middle of the table, lighting it on fire, and then praying that new money would appear after all the money burned away.
Probablemente la mejor definición que he oído nunca de la industria del videojuego. Vamos a recapitular. Rebel Galaxy Outlaws fue el último juego que hizo Travis, del que más orgulloso se siente, pero fue un lanzamiento terrible. Era un juego exclusivo para Epic Store. Epic Store sigue siendo polémica hoy en día porque la gente tiene otra rutina, la gente tiene su biblioteca en Steam y entonces intentar hacerlo por fuerza bruta de dinero es difícil. Así que ese lanzamiento fue complicado, estaba muy estresado y para desestresarse pues Travis trabajaba más y trabajaba leyendo audiolibros. Y era una cosa que lo relajaba mucho porque además los audiolibros tienen una cosa que los juegos no tienen. Y es que puedes durar en ellos lo que te dure tu voz, como yo, que no sé si voy a llegar a la última charla del día, ¿no? Pues llegas hasta donde llega tu voz. Los videojuegos no. En los videojuegos llegas hasta donde haya que llegar y más allá. Y bueno, una cosa fue un poco llevando a la otra y de manera más o menos accidental. Él decidió quitarse completamente de la industria de los videojuegos porque era como mucho más relajante dedicarse a los audiolibros, le iba bien y podía dedicarse a eso a sus 40 y cambiar completamente de trayectoria y de carrera. Y lo de autor llegó un poco como de casualidad. Pero la definición que dio maravillosa de la industria del videojuego es que dice que siempre la había definido como una mesa donde uno pone millones de dólares, los quema como si fuera el Joker y luego se queda esperando a que aparezcan más. Y que más o menos eso es lo que cree que es la industria del videojuego. So last question from my side and then we open questions Q&A for the public. This is a personal question related to game industry. You will change something of how it works related to other cultural industries because you have a career, a transmedia career, and that gives you perspective of how it works book industry, how it works game industry. Or do you think that with all its flaws and ups and downs, game industry does as well as he can?
I want to make sure I understand the question. So you want to understand my perspective on the game industry compared to other industries?
Yes, and if you see for your experience in other cultural industries, that maybe we can change some things about how it works in general in the game industry to get better.
Yeah, I mean, the game industry has been good to me in a lot of ways, and I don't regret any of the time that I have spent in it. But I think it has changed a lot over time. Decades ago, games were more of an enthusiast industry, where it felt kind of like everybody was on the same team. That people who were playing the games were almost as involved as the people who were making them. In days of yore, we all typed in our programs. I still remember doing this. And so there was a feeling that everyone understood how games were made and were involved in them and appreciated that this thing existed. Over time, I think games are a commodity, they're entertainment at this point. And so I think we've lost some of that that feeling of comradeship, which I wish would come back because it was very special and it's sad to have kind of lost it. I think one of the biggest differences between games and every other industry, and one of the challenges